Okay.
So good morning, guys. So we will start with some more C today. We'll learn a few things. Now, in the last session, I remember we talked about loops and we talked about the flag trick. So we will do some of it again today, more of the looping, and then we will see one important thing today to start with, which is how to deal with strings in C. My voice is breaking. No, not from our side, because we have the 5 stars. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes the problem is on your end. Okay. So let us. Voice is not clear. Did we close? Voice is breaking. It's perfect. Okay, maybe some trouble at your end. Okay, so the screen is being shared. I think it's okay. For some of you, it may be breaking at your end, because we can only monitor this part, this side of the story. This is the connection, no? This is okay.
No, yes, the connection is okay, but the audio problem.
Check on another.
Oh, yes. PBS, ABC, teacher.
Okay, let's see. We can't do much as long as we get a white green arrows on our side. Huh? Okay, so let's start working with what is called as strings today. So we'll start working with strings. Okay. Yeah. So in C and in C++, no. In C, there are no strings. There are no strings. You cannot have strings, but obviously you need something to represent textual data. So if you have textual data, you have to model it as an array of characters. So it's a character array. Okay. This is important to remember, because at the core level of the language there is no support for strings, and we simply have the concept of the character array. So how do we deal with strings? So in order to do that, let's take a small problem and do it. So I'll show you how to do that problem, and then we'll do it in code in the telescope, and then we'll see how to implement it. Now the problem we are going to do is we are going to see how to read a string, some small string without any spaces, and then we are going to count the vowels in the string. This is what we are going to do. Okay, so watch carefully how I am going to do this, and you will learn quite a few things, people who are not familiar with strings. So we are going to read a string and we are going to count the number of vowels in that string. So let me go to a fresh page and let's start a program. So I'm assuming you have written main and all that. As I said, for strings we don't have a string type, but we have a character array. So I'm going to call it str. I'm creating a character array. Let's create a big enough character array like we normally do. Now those of you who are discerning enough will know that I have not used int ARR10 or something. I have said char str100. The reason I have done this is because I want an array of characters. Okay, so that is what my string is going to be. It's going to be an array of characters, which means that my str, this is going to be my str, is going to be a contiguous allocation of characters, each element of which is a char, okay, instead of int. How big is a char? Typically char is 8 bits. Now later we'll discuss why chars in C are 8 bits and not longer, but at this stage just assume that char is 8 bits in size. Now how do I read a string? Okay, very interesting. Now look at this. I'll say printf, okay, enter a string. Sorry, enter a string. Backslash n. This is backslash n. So I ask the user to enter a string. Now, as usual, I have to do a scanf. Now comes the important differences. Because I am reading a string, though there is no string data type, the C does provide me a facility to read a string by giving %s. So %d stands for integers, %f stands for floats, and now I am using %s, which stands for reading a string. So I am reading a string. So scanf %s. Now I have to supply the string array. Now here you will see another interesting difference. This is a semicolon, by the way. Now you see I am giving the whole array as a parameter to scanf. And why am I doing that? Because I want all the data to come into this string array, and I am not using ampersand also, because in C we know the rule, name of the array is itself an address of the first element, or is in itself the address of the first element. Name of the array itself is the address of the first element. So when I say str, it means I am giving the address of the first element, and that is enough, because from there the C will start reading the array and it will read the array in str. So I should not give ampersand here, because I am giving the name of an array, which itself is an address. Normally if I give a single variable, I say ampersand I, ampersand t, whatever, which is I have to supply the address for scanf. But because here also I am supplying an address, but I am not using the ampersand, because the name of the array I am using str is itself the address. So that is a peculiarity of C which you should get very familiar with. Now what will happen when, let's say, I enter a string KMIT at this prompt? Just let's think before I continue with the rest of the program. I have read a string. So what happens in my program is I get a string, I get characters filled. So what will happen is, remember str is a character array of characters. So what will happen? K will come in the first slot, M will come in the second slot. See, it's an array of characters. So M will come in the second slot, I will come in the third slot, and then T will come in the next slot. But it doesn't stop there. No, why does it do that? Yeah. Yeah. So T will come in the next slot, and you will have a \0 here. Okay. So we had a bit of disturbance. So watch this. Okay. So I have KMIT and then I have \0. Now this is important to remember. So KMIT should not come as a surprise, because that is what I entered. Now what comes here is actually, though I say it's \0, it is called ASCII 0. The ASCII 0. Now what does it mean? See, in C, like in any other language, we have, for every character we have an ASCII code. Okay. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So every character has an ASCII code. So the ASCII code for K, I don't remember what it is. If it's small k, I guess it is 97 plus 10 or 96 plus 10.
97.
97
plus 10. 107.
Maybe it's 107 or 106. I'm not sure. So the ASCII code for K is 107. It's actually, I think, 96 plus 10 plus 11. So plus 11 would make it
107.
107. Okay, I think it starts at 96 because 97 is A.
Small
Okay,
a.
small a. So if it is small k, it will be 107. So the ASCII code for k is 107 because the ASCII code for A is 96. Small, lowercase a. I'm assuming
Small
everything
a.
has been entered in lowercase.
Small a is 97.
Sorry, A is 97. So after that, K is generally 11th in the sequence, so it would be 107. So A starts at 97. That is the ASCII code for A. So here, what C does is, when it reads in a string, each of the slot it fills it with the appropriate ASCII code. That is not a problem. It fills up this with the ASCII code for K, all of that, and it fills up the last character to indicate that the string has ended here, because there should be some way of the C system telling us that the string has ended here. So what it does is it puts an ASCII 0, that is 0, the ASCII 0. Okay, so it puts an ASCII 0 there. Now the way we refer, so let me not write this way, let me just write an ASCII 0, but the way we refer to it in a program is a little different. So please understand what has happened here, that when the user entered KMIT, it came and sat in that array str, and it is like this. So here, to give you a complete picture, here what I have is the ASCII code for K, which happens to be 107, M, K, I, J, K, L, M, so maybe 109, I is I think 9, so 96 plus 9 is I think 105, I, J, K, yeah. So T would be 22, so it would be 9 plus this, so 116.
116.
And then you have ASCII 0. So this is how the KMIT would be fed in. So K, M, I, T. So this is K, M, I, and T. And ASCII 0. Okay, this is 0. So this, why, you know why this is filled in? To indicate that the string ends here. Because otherwise we won't know where the string has ended. So in order to indicate that the string is finished here, and only 4 characters, and after that it puts /0. Had I entered welcome, what would have happened? I would have got W, E, L, C, O, M, E, and then after that I would have got 0. This is called the ASCII 0. I would have got that. Of course, I am writing it notionally. What you would actually get is something like this, which is the ASCII value of W, E, L, and so on. So this is how the ASCII value. So this is ASCII 0. Okay. So now, if that part is clear, then let's proceed with this program. Remember, our program was to count the number of vowels. So that is the objective of the program. So let's turn over. So we have run these 3 lines of code, and then I will continue with that. So now I will put a variable. I should have declared it at the top, called int count. I can declare it earlier, equal to 0. I should make a variable equal to 0. Why I am making this count equal to 0? What, any problem?
No, they are asking like why we are not using %C.
Percentage?
C.
We'll come to that. Okay. Int count equal to 0. Then we have written this. This is to count our vowels. If you like a better name, we'll call it V count, count of vowels. Okay. So we put that int V count equal to 0. We have put that. Now this we can put at the top, a little above. Now you will see the interesting loop I'll write. So I'll say for, okay, we have one more I because we have to iterate. So int I. So we will need that also because we have to loop through this array. So I'll need int I equal to, sorry, for I equal to 0. Now this next condition, pay close attention to it. What is my array? Str of I, okay, not equal to \of 0. I'll explain this. I equal to I plus 1. Okay. Now, and then we will do something here. Let's come to what we will do in a moment. Let's understand this, what's happening. Let me use a red color for emphasis. So this is str of I not equal to backslash 0. Now you will ask, what is this? See, in C, if you have to refer to ASCII 0, you can't refer to ASCII 0 because it's all full of characters. We are referring to it as characters. So the character equivalent of this, because remember we are going through stri is an array of characters. So if you have to look at it as a character, you can't say 0 because it will then understand this as number 0. So we can't look at it as 0. So we can, because if you look at it as 0, it will be not possible. It will think it is number 0. But what is sitting there is actually ASCII 0. Okay, maybe little bit about number 0 and ASCII 0. See, this is number 0. Its ASCII value is 48. And number 0, this is number 0. ASCII 0, its ASCII value is 0. Okay, so maybe I think if you are storing, let's say 35 in memory, a number 35 in memory, how does it look? Okay, so 35, that is 3. I mean, this is, I'm not going into the binary form. The ASCII value for 3 is actually, what is the ASCII value for 3? 0 is 48. So 49 is 1, 50, 51. Okay, I think it is 51. So what will be stored here is 51. Then this I'm making it up. Okay, 5. The ASCII value of 5 is I think 53. And after that, okay, 350. Let's say we are storing 350. 0 will be stored as 48. This is how 350 will be stored. Just to give you, this is not correct though. This I'm making it up. Okay, this is stored after converting it into binary and all that, it is stored, but just let's say 350 as a string, how would it be stored? So 51, 53, 48, this is how it will be. This is, I want you to understand, this is 350. This is the number 0. But what is here is not that. It is not 48, remember, it is ASCII 0. Okay, and the way you refer to an ASCII 0 is you have to put a backslash.
Video is halted there, saying.
Video halted. No.
Okay. Something says.
Somebody will say like that. Okay. So you are getting it, no?
Right.
You are on a net.
Yeah? Yes. Same.
You can't even get a different net.
No, we have mobile.
We are on a different net. Good. Because there is no point checking in the same net. Okay, so we have 51, 53, 48. This is how this would be stored. Whereas I want you to understand this is number 0 and this is ASCII 0. What we have at the end of the string is ASCII 0. And how do you refer to it? In character form, you refer to it as backslash 0. This is how you refer to it. And single quote, because any character is always compared with single quotes. Okay, so single quotes is to see that it's a character comparison. Okay, so for I equal to 0, str of I not equal to backslash 0. That means now you are looking at that string, remember? So the string was, I will not write the ASCII values, they are too difficult to write, but you should understand that ASCII values are stored and there is a 0, ASCII 0. So when I say for I equal to 0, str of I, this is str, not equal to this character, that is I'm going to go through this array till I meet this character, okay, till this guy. How do I refer to this guy? This is ASCII 0. I refer to him as single quote backslash 0. Okay, now you'll understand more as we go through the code. So what will I say now? Remember my job is to count vowels. So I'll say if there is a particular reason for taking this program. If str of I, obviously it is not equal to 0, so it's not reached end of string. So str of I equal a, or see the way I am comparing with a, or str of I equal equal E, and so on. Now you know how to compare. This is the OR symbol. So if str of I is equal to A, or str of I is equal E, or those of you who can complete it, I'm sure know, str of I equal I like this. Okay, this I is the letter I, and this is of course the index. So str of I, and like this you go on. If it is equal to any one of them, this or this or this, remember the OR symbol, it's equal to A or to E or to I or to O, whatever, it goes on, the 5 vowels. Then what do I do? If this statement is true, then I say vcount equal to vcount plus 1. So I add 1 to the vcount, in this case if it is a vowel. So I keep doing it till stri till reaches this point. At that point, because every time I is going to become I plus 1, like in any for loop, and I'm going to compare with the next character in the string. So if any one of them is equal to is equal to \0, we stop there, which is the last character. We can say vcount, and after this we will say printf. We have come out of the for loop, so we are done with processing the string. Vowel count is equal to %d, sorry, is equal to %d, comma vcount. Okay, that has got a little garbled there. So we say printf vowel count is equal to %d vcount. So this is how we do it. This we do outside the printf, outside the loop. So we do this loop, and so we go. This is how you go through an array step by step, and do it. So okay, now I'll go back and see what you guys have to say. Repeat from the loop. Screen was stuck till now. No, I don't think. Okay. I don't think. Is the screen getting stuck?
No, sir. For me, no.
No, I think some of you, it's okay. Okay, but nevertheless, for the sake of, okay. Okay. Now, there may be some trouble at your end also, because we are doing the voice. It may not always be from our side. Okay, now I'll walk through the code again. Just watch. I'll go previous, because this is the first time. It doesn't matter. We can go through it again. Let me just change the color for variety. So I'm going through the program again, and then we'll open up a practice question so that you can do it.
We'll open after explanation.
After explanation. So we are doing. I am going to go through the program again. We are dealing with strings today. So we have char str100. So we created an array of strings. Okay, this is how you create an array of. No, we didn't create an array of strings. Actually, we created an array of characters. So we created an array of characters big enough to hold any string that we'll give. Of course, if you give more than 100, it won't hold, but that's okay. So printf, enter a string. We said give a string. Then we said scanf. Remember, we used %s. This is important to remember, because whenever we are reading in a string, though it is represented as an array of character, we can still use %s, and then we have this str. So we can read it into this str, which is an array of characters. At the end of that array of characters, automatically, when we read in this string, let's the string is KMIT. If the string is KMIT, then KMIT will be entered, and at the end of the string, automatically ASCII 0, not number 0, will be inserted. Now, who will do the insertion? The C programming system or the C runtime system that will ensure that this is inserted. So we will have this data inserted there, and what it will actually be is all the ASCII values, and the last ASCII value is 0. So this is what will happen when the data comes into str. Okay, so you should know what is happening, that there is a \0. We refer to it as \0, but it's called ASCII 0. Okay, ASCII 0. not number 0. Number 0's ASCII value is 48. Okay, then we do this and then we go to the next page. Sorry.
Next.
I think I should say next. Okay, so int I, I created a variable int I. I also created a variable vcount equal to 0. This I should do at the top. Now this loop is super important. Okay, look at this loop. For I equal to 0, I am starting from the first character. Remember, I have to start examining from the first character. And where all do I have to go? Till when do I have to go on? Till str of I is not equal to, remember this, not equal to backslash of 0. This is the backslash of 0. So till it is not equal to backslash of 0, I have to keep doing this, and at the end I have to do I equal to I plus 1, because that's how the loop works for me. So if str I is in the body of the code, I write if str of I is equal A or E or whatever, I, O, U, then what do? I increment vcount, because that is the way I count my vowels. I increment vcount and make it vcount plus 1 if I encounter any of these characters. Once I examine one character, it will automatically, because the I equal to I plus 1, it will go to the next character. Once the I increments, I'll start examining the next character, as long as it is not backslash 0. If it is backslash 0, which is the ASCII 0, I'll come out of the loop. That means I've reached the end of the string. And then I will say printf vowel count is equal to %d vcount. Pretty straightforward, if you will.
Sometimes
Voice is breaking. Is that because, just go and see our chat. No, it's there. Okay. So, yeah. So we are doing, it is case sensitive. We'll give you only lower case. Okay. Imagine it's lower case only. Okay. How many times the loop will execute? Can you tell me how many times the loop will execute? It depends on how long is the string. Okay. If this including the ASCII, it will not execute for the ASCII. Okay. So we will assume that the string is in lower case. Okay. Switch case is better. We will write using switch case, but we have not covered switch case, so we will not talk about it now. अरे पहले कनेक्ट करना था ना, नहीं बट इधर ब्रेक तो बताना नहीं. Okay, we're just putting one more modem here just to see whether that will do better. Okay. Why isn't there ampersand? Okay, we'll talk about it. Okay. Okay, we'll come to all of that one by one. Okay, now you're on what? ये आप कनेक्ट तो करें, लेकिन उसको स्विच नहीं हुआ ना. Just a minute, guys. We'll lose the voice for a moment because we are shifting to another net. No, अभी internet access कौन सा है? So disable that
connector Airtel.
Adapters. Disables.
Ethernet disable, no?
Disable.
No, sorry.
So
now we are okay. Okay. Go to the chat. Then go, yeah. Okay. So no, all leftover spaces are not filled with ASCII 0. Only one ASCII 0 is put. Okay. We will do quite a few questions and then we will see. Now there were a couple of questions. I don't think we need to answer all of them because some of them will get answered overall. Now, no, we are not going to dynamically allocate string size. We'll come one by one. Now I think the important question was going back. Let me go to the open board. Oh, sorry, it's here. Yeah, okay. Somebody was asking, there are a couple of questions which I'll do and then we'll move on to write the code. Okay, so the previously, yeah. Somebody said, why don't we give an ampersand here? I think I already answered that. I said, and I wrote it here, name of the array is itself an address. So remember, we always give ampersand. We don't give ampersand for decoration. We give ampersand because we want to supply the address. Since in case of arrays, the name of the array itself is an address, I don't want to do address of address. So it would be wrong to say address here because the name of the array itself is an address. So there is no point in giving ampersand here. This name itself is an address. You have to give an address in scanf, but this itself is an address, so we don't give ampersand. Then somebody's question was, why don't we say %C? %C will get me only one character. I don't want one character. I want all the characters to come in, whatever the user has typed in. For example, when the user types in KMIT, I don't want to take the character by character. I want to read the whole thing, and that is called like a string. I want to read it like a string. That is the whole data I want to read, put it in an array in one shot, with of course the ASCII 0 at the end to indicate that that is where it ends. Then some other question was that do you have zeros all after it? That means do you have like this K, M, I, T, 0, 0, 0? No, you don't have. You have just 1 0. The remaining space is unused. Only 1 0 is done. Okay, so I think these were the questions which were there, and we kind of talked about them. And then we have this vowel count and all that. So we will open a practice question for you. My suggestion is use this code only, whatever we have discussed. Write yourself, how to do vowel count, and then we'll wait for you so that you can type the code. So we'll open practice lab 2 of January 20th, right?
Yes.
So Jan 20th, practice lab 2 is open. So please check whether it's open or not, and you can make. You can write the code there. Okay. And as soon as you write the code, please let us know. Rohit, you had a question. Yesterday we were reading array, but we were reading one element of the array. We are not reading the whole array. You see, here we are reading the whole array. Today we are reading the whole array at one go. Okay, we are not reading character by character. So if you are reading character by character, you would do ampersand. Okay, you could create an array of vowels and compare. It would be yes, you can, but what's the use? I mean, you can directly compare, isn't it? There are only 5 of them. If there were more than that, then you probably had value in writing an array. Here there are only 5 vowels as far as I know. And please accept strings only in lowercase. Let's assume that all the data is entered is in lowercase. There is no uppercase there. Okay, so let's assume that also. So with that, I'm waiting for you to finish. So maybe since it's a small question, we will give you 4 or 5 minutes and then we will discuss. Okay, some of you have finished. Good to know. Okay, we'll wait for some more to finish and post. Okay. Now, Uzaif, you should do it on your own. I think we kind of showed the code for quite some time. And since you are at home, create a practice of writing down on paper as we explain, so that you have a copy of the code with you. Okay, some more finished. Okay, we're waiting for some more. The moment 10 or 15 finish, we will look at somebody's code and do it. Okay, I think we have the requisite number. So let's see some of your code. Let's look at
Tarun Kumar. Tarun Kumar.
who? Who's the first guy?
Tarun.
Tarun. Okay. Tarun TA or
THA.
no. TA అనుకుంటా.
TA. No. Reddy.
Oh. Okay. Tarun Kumar Reddy. Yeah, looks correct. No problem. Only thing is, cultivate this habit of putting braces. I know if there's only one statement, you don't need it, but cultivate this habit of putting braces no matter. It is not needed because there is a single statement. Okay, so str100, you read in the string count equal to 0. For int I equal to 0, str of I not equal to \0, I plus plus. And okay, this is if this is true, it will return a 1, so he's using it to add, but
Directly.
I think this is being too abbreviated. I would prefer if str of I, this will work, equal like that. Okay. This the way it works is, if a statement is true in C, it returns a 1, and that is adding it to count. Okay. For that, you have to know that a truth value is equal to 1, and then it gets added. No, don't write it that way. Okay. Who's the second?
Gautam.
Ever?
Gautam, sir. Gautam.
Gautam.
G-O-U.
GAU.
GAU1. You can see here, no? No, one going down. Just keep going down. First, going down. Go down, Baba.
Yes, sir, it's mouse is
Stuck, huh?
Mm.
Now keep going down further. Abhinay Reddy.
This P Abhinay.
All these people have evaluated, no?
Yes, but
I
it's not showing code.
just say run. What does it show? No,
Nothing is.
no. Not written anything in.
Just submit.
Okay.
Tarun is done. Maybe Anirudh next.
Anirudh Joshi. Okay, this is the code we wanted. So, very simple code, exactly what we wrote, which is what I wanted. We have count equal to 0, str100, scanf, for int I equal to 0, stri not equal to \0. This \0 has to be given very carefully. It is single quote, \0, that is the ASCII 0 check. I++, if str a or I or O, whatever, then count ++, and at the end of the for loop, print count. Okay, so this will run. Let's try it out. So, yeah, you are not asking, so just say KMIT. Yeah, the number of vowels is 1. We'll try it again. We'll say welcome. There's 3 vowels. Okay, he entered welcome-y, so it has 4 vowels. Okay. Fine. So, okay, so I think it is working. So this is how we wanted the code to be written so that you can get it. Okay. Now we are going to move to another interesting exercise which you are going to do. Okay. Now, let me go. Listen to this exercise very carefully. You have to read a string. You have to read a string, and programmatically you have to find the length of the string. You have to find the length of the string. How do you find the length of the string? There is a built-in function called strlen, which you can give on a string, that is on str. We don't want that. We want you to print the length of the string by going to the string, looking for the \0 and keeping a count. So you will write a loop. So you have to write a for loop, and you have to print the length of the string. That is, you have to go through the loop similar to the way we just went. And now in this time we looked only for the vowels. Now we are going to count all the number of characters excluding the \0. So if I enter welcome, I should get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should not get 8, though actually there are 8, which is the ASCII 0 is there here. We shouldn't count that. That is, referred to as \0. So we shouldn't count that, but we should get these. Okay. So can you write a small piece of code to get the length of the string? Okay. Small piece of code to write the length of a string. Okay. Please don't cheat from here and there. Write it on your own. That's the only way you will learn. So we'll open up a practice question for you. So let's go to Tesslator and we will open up a question.
Lab 3.
It's called Practice Lab 3. Okay. Meanwhile, let's just check how many people did Practice Lab 2. No, you can see it there. No, Baba, don't. 112. Okay, 112 did. Okay. Remaining people are. Okay, 122 more are trying. 112 did, I guess. So that makes it 232, 234. Remaining people have come here to lay eggs. There will always be people who will lay eggs. They will be very poor at the end of the course. Some people will go out with a salary of 45 lakh or more, and some people will go out with a salary of 3 or 4 lakhs an annum. So these are those remaining. I keep reminding so that you are aware. You don't have to blame later. It gets apparent even now. Okay. So let's do this question. Practice Lab 3. We have opened Practice Lab 3. So give it a shot. I hope you have understood the question. We have to get the length of the string without the \0. Don't count the \0. Okay. So let's look at the chat. Length done. Very good. Okay. Sanjay, you are asking for the check of your code for the previous one. I already gave the code. How much can you go wrong? Okay, good. Okay, I hope everybody is clear what I asked you to do. Length of a string, I want to find the length of a string. So you read a string and then go through, loop through and find, just like you found the number of vowels in a string, now I am asking, I want the entire length of the string. I'll wait exactly 5 minutes and then we'll move on. Okay, a lot of people seem to have been doing this. Okay, good. We will wait another 3 minutes. If you have got it, let's not bother. It is working, we will not check. No need to count spaces. We will assume that the string does not contain spaces.
We're not reading that. I mean, we didn't show how to read it.
Because we have not yet discussed how to read a string with spaces. We will not use our scanf %s, we will use something else. There are no spaces in the string. Okay, I think yeah, we can use getS and putS, but I'll come to that. Okay, so I think we will look at the code of somebody who, I think Tarun did it again, so we'll not look at his code, let's look at somebody else's code.
Rahul Das.
Huh?
Rahul Das.
Rahul Das. Okay. Go to student. So we'll look at Rahul's code.
Rahul.
Type now there. He's saying now Rahul. Rahul Das. Okay. This is Rahul's code. So let's walk through the code line by line. So we have char str 100. Good. I equal to 0, length equal to 0. Very good. Scanf %s str. Good. Then while stri not equal to 0. Yeah, here you don't know how far you have to go. No, you can do for also. It does not matter. You can write it with a for also. Length plus I plus. So you keep going forward and then print length. Perfect. So now I am only concerned that the length here, oh, it starts at 0. Okay, so it's 1. Okay, you will get the correct length. Let's, this is okay. With a while loop, it's okay. So we'll run it and check.
Sir, I'm making the bad changes.
Okay. So let's enter a string welcome. Yeah, 7. That is correct. We want only 7 to come. Okay. So I think that this is fine. So let's look at one more code just to see how people are doing it. Then we'll set you another question and we'll move on. So let's look at Uruj Ahmed. He has done it using a for loop. Okay. So let's see the code with a for loop. Hash include stdio.h. Char str100. Enter a string. Okay. Scanf %s str. No address. Very good. For int I equal to 0. I would prefer you declare I at the top. This will work, but declare I at the top. Then you can say for I equal to 0, str of I not equal to \0. That is, we are going to go till the end. I is equal to I plus 1 and length is equal to length plus 1. Beautiful. So we just print the length. Okay, perfect. So let's test it. And run it. So enter a string, we'll enter KMIT. Okay, welcome to KMIT. Welcome. No, if you write like that, we will not know the correct spelling. WEL. Or just write welcome. So we get 7, which is correct. This is what we expected to get as an answer. Okay. So good. So this is how you can write with a for loop. Stri not equal to 0, \0, and I equal to I plus 1. Okay. Now listen to this next question which we are going to do. Let us see how many people have done actually. Guys, as we show code, there is two reasons. One is to verify what the person has done, also to help you finish your code also, because you may be struggling on some line, and it will help you also. Okay, so we have about 153 people plus 83 people, 155 plus 80. That is 237 out of 437. So the remaining 200 people are Jai Telangana. Okay. So the earlier question is about 300 people, 310 people. Okay. Some of you are doing little lag, no problem. But keep doing. Okay. Now we will do the next one. Okay. Yeah. Listen to this carefully. I want you to reverse a string without cheating. Okay. Reverse a string. How do you reverse a string? So if I give you KMIT, then you should say the reverse of this is TIMK. Now how are you going to do it? Well, what you are going to do is you are going to go into the array in a loop. So first you are going to read the string, read a string, then loop through the array, string array that is, through the character array, through the character array, that is where the string is sitting, till your I or whatever is, or till str of I, that is same loop, till your str is equal to \0, right? So you will keep reading till, so you will keep going forward, and the moment it is str I equal to 0, same kind of for condition. So if it is k m I t, and then you are at \0, you will have to reach \0, which anyway you will reach. Okay, because when you are examining while stri not equal to \0, you have actually reached str0 when you come out. Okay, so you would have reached here, your I will be here. So then what you should do is, while I, you have to go backward in your I. So right now your I is here. Your I is here. So you have to go on printing. First you have to position your I from here to here. Okay, you have to move I backward. So outside the for loop, you will have to say I is equal to I minus 1. And once you go back, then you have to go all the way up to 0. That is, while I greater than 0, you have to keep going down. Okay, instead of going up, which you normally do in a for loop, you can use I minus minus or I equal to I minus 1 to go down the loop. So you're going to go down the loop till you reach 0. And when you reach 0, you will print that character and stop. So I want you to just print. I don't want you to convert this into a string. If you can convert it into a string, very good, but just print these characters one by one. So print %C. So I should see printf %C, which you are going to print in the backward direction, one character at a time. Okay, printf %C. Sorry, I'm not able to write %C. %C. Print one character at a time. Okay, from here backwards. So that is what we want you to do. So you have to give me the string as T. No, you don't have to give me strings. The characters should be printed as TIMK. Print this character, then this character, then this character, then this character. So it will be TIMK if I enter KMIT. Okay. So that is what we would like you to see, or we would like you to show us. So let's see whether you have understood what I want. Okay. No, you have to take only one loop. Yeah, you will have to write two loops. Sorry, you have to write two loops, of course. Okay, one loop after another loop. Yeah. So, did you understand what I want? Two loops are fine, and I think that's the right way to do. Okay. So, and I want you to print character by character. So, don't copy the code from somewhere, because the moment we look at the code, we should know that it's yours and not copied from the net.
Guru.
Okay, so let's give it a shot.
That should be
Okay, we'll open the question.
Practice lab 3.
Okay, we are opening up practice lab 3.
Not 3 done.
No,
Four.
3 over.
4.
Practice lab 4. Okay, we are opening practice lab 4. So give it a shot in practice lab 4. Practice lab 4 of January 20th, please. Space is taken as char. Yeah. I want you to print it as char. Okay, good. Okay, so a lot of people seem to have done it. Let's see how is it going. No, only 5 have done it. Okay, we'll wait. This is called reversing a string, but we are printing character by character. Okay. So I'll wait till 10:45 and then we will write the code. You'll need 2 loops here. No, you're not supposed to use strlen. No. Do it. We'll come to the use of functions soon, but then we'll start writing more complicated code. Right now we are writing very simple code, so Okay. We are at another couple of more minutes and we'll start. Okay, one more minute and we will write down code. Okay, so we will start solving it. I'll first write it on the screen, then we'll look at some people's code so that we can do it. So this is the approach we are going to follow. So let's see how we do it. So I'm assuming that you have, okay, let me write it at the basic level. So I will create a character array str of 100. I'm just writing it so that those of you who are slow can take it down and do it. Okay. Of course, I'm not going to write everything, but char str 100. Then we say printf give the string \n. Then I'll say scanf as usual. I'll say %s, and I will not use the address because the name of the array itself is an address. So I say str. So I've got the string with me. Okay. I've got the string with me, which I have to print it in reverse order. Now, in order to do that, first see the while loop that I'll write, or I can write a for loop also. So imagine some I has been created, int I. Then I write a for loop. Look at my for loop. For I equal to 0. Str of I not equal to \0. I equal to I plus 1. Now I'm writing a for loop, but this is not equal to. I'm writing a for loop str for I equal to 0, str of I not equal to \0. I move forward. Do I have to do anything while moving forward? No. I don't need to write a body compulsorily. Some of you could have written like this. Okay, but this is also not necessary. You can, because anyway I have nothing to do, I can just put a semicolon here. And this is a special case where I am doing nothing in the body of the for loop. My job is just to go to the end of the str. So when I do this at the end of this for loop, what will happen? My str of I till it is not equal to 0, it was moving forward, and it stopped at I equal to \0. So if it was k, m, I and t and \0 or 0, I would be here, because remember till it reaches this point. So it has tested this point, then only it has stopped. Now it is not going forward. Now it's not doing anything. Okay. So when stri became \0, so it reached here. So my stri, or rather my I, is here. Okay. So in our case, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will be at 4. Now I don't want to obviously print this because this will be not needed. So I have to start printing from I minus 1. I can accommodate that here, or I can simply say I equal to I minus 1. The reason is I want to put my I here. I was here earlier. When I finish this for loop, my I will be here, because till it is equal to \0, I will keep on moving. Or rather, till it is not equal to \0, I will keep on moving. When it is equal to \0, I will come out. So my I will be positioned here. So I made I equal to I minus 1. So my I is now here. Now I have to go back all the way till my I is greater than or equal to 0. For that, I can use a for loop, or I can use a while loop. So I can say for. Now this line I can accommodate. Instead of writing it separately, I can say I equal to I minus 1. Or in order to not confuse myself, I will say j and int j. That is better rather than using this. So j is equal to I minus 1. Okay. J greater than 0. Till j is greater than 0 and including 0, right? I have to also print when it is equal to 0. Okay. Greater than or equal to 0. I should say j is equal to j minus. Okay. This is my second for loop. For j is equal to I minus 1. Remember, I removed this line. So I am starting. I was here at the end of this for loop. Then I moved one step back. That is, I said j is equal to I minus 1. J is another variable which I created at the top. J's initial value is I minus 1. And I will keep on moving till j is greater than or equal to 0. And every time I will do j equal to j minus 1. And what will I do inside the body? I will say printf. Remember, I am using %c. So I will say %c. Okay. And I will print that character from str. So I will say str of j. Okay. That's it. So I am starting from j equal to I minus 1. That is from, this is I. This is where my I is going to be. That is 4. I am going to start one step earlier. And I am going to go all the way till j is greater than or equal to 0, including 0, because I want this k to be also printed. J equal to j minus 1. And print %c str of j. So this is the code which I guess you guys should write, or similar to this. We are using two for loops. We could substitute this with while loops also, but for loops will also do the trick, and we can do it. So the important thing to learn is, it's not always imperative that every for loop should have some statements to execute. Like here, we had a for loop which was entirely empty. So we just put a semicolon here. So this is something new which you would want to keep at the back of your mind while writing this code. So this is what we would want to do. This is called reversing a string. I don't know whether most of you wrote code like this. You can check a few just for the sake of checking. So this is the code I was looking for, but I don't mind varieties as long as it meets our original guideline. Okay, so let's look at a few code which is there. Okay, please check my code. No, 2 errors not needed, but we can look at 1 or 2 errors also. Maybe that's a better way. So Nagendra Kamesh. Okay. Okay, we'll go to somebody has an issue. It helps people learn. So Kamesh Nagendra. Okay. Let's see what has happened there. Okay. So printf, enter a string. Okay, can you go down? You are printing %s. I think you are doing something. Stri. How will this ever work? Yeah, you're not listening. I should be equal to 0. You're putting I condition somewhere. Till here it's okay, int I is okay. Then please watch why we are doing it. It's not just putting some lines together. So stri backslash 0, how will it go there? I like your logic, and it should be percentage C if at all you're doing it. But we cannot initialize it directly there, no? How will it go there? We have to first take it there and then come back. Okay. So follow the code which I have written. Vasudev. Vasudev. Okay. Yeah. Enter a string scanf str while str count is 0. Okay. This count is only having no block. Count plus plus while str count. Oh, okay. While this line applies to this, while str of count, okay,
is going
not equal to backslash 0, you keep incrementing count. So count and check for count. So count would have reached 0. Minus 1 is fine. Then a equal to 0, a less than count, a plus plus. Rev, here there seems to be some issue. Rev of a, okay, you're building another array. Rev, okay, rev of a is equal to str of b, b minus minus, looks okay. Rev of a is equal to this backslash. Your idea looks okay. Now let's see what it does. Should be okay. Let's see where it goes up. Maybe we'll just enter KMIT. It's coming. So what's the problem? But we didn't want you to print as percentage S. We should print as percentage C. Okay. Check my code. It's awesome. My God. How can code get hard? Okay, let's help people who are not so full of themselves. No, check mine. If it is working, we don't want to check. Okay, somebody is saying Kalyan. He's complaining. Okay, Kalyan. Shivnadhuni Kalyan.
Shivnadhuni Kalyan.
Shivnadhuni Kalyan. Okay, let's look at his code. Okay. So enter a string, you got the string, okay, for stri not equal to 0, I plus plus, j is equal to I minus 1, j is equal to j minus 1, okay, printf str of j, Baba.
J.
Here you should print str of j, not str of I. You're working with str of j, right? You're working with j. So you want to print str of j. Okay. That will do the trick. If it is working, Srikar, don't bother.
My code is not running properly.
Okay, Ben-Hur. Okay, one more and we will move on. I cannot go check everybody's code, please. Ben-Hur, Baba. B-N-H-U-R. Oh. Okay. No, this loop should be outside. You put this is not a nested for loop. This code is okay, but it has to be outside. So don't write this inside. This is independent. This for loop is independent. Let it finish. Your I will be positioned correctly. That is at the end of the string. Then you start with j is equal to I minus 1 and proceed back. Okay. So that's how you should correct. Okay. This should be outside. Okay. Remove this. Just put a semicolon here and do it. Or you can just put open bracket, close bracket here, and then after that write this for loop. So that this for loop has nothing to do with that. Okay.
Ankur answer, please check. Nothing.
Ankur Roy. Okay, this is the last Ankur Roy, and we'll move on. Str of I, printf str of j. J is equal to j minus 1, j is equal to I minus 1. Oh, there is a mistake there. Sure. I is equal to I plus 1.
No, just the same.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
This is not I plus 1. This is I is equal to I plus 1. This line, just change it. Just put I is equal to I plus 1 because there's a syntax error. Move I value has to change. I plus 1 doesn't change the value of I. I is equal to I plus 1 changes the value of I. And then j greater than 0, j is equal to j minus 1 str. Then it will work correctly. Okay, I think what's the time for this?
11:20.
Huh?
11:20.
11:20. Okay. So Kalyan still no output. Okay, we'll look at it again.
Kalyan.
No, open it again. Kalyan. Okay. J is equal to
j minus 1.
Why is this not right?
Not equal to str of I not equal to backslash.
While str of I not equal to Baba, and you can't write I plus plus is okay.
I plus plus is okay. That not equal.
It should be not equal to. Till it is not equal to backslash 0, you will move on. Then go backward. If you want, we'll run it and show you. We'll make the correction.
You did, sir.
Okay, run. Achha, you have made the correction already. KMIT. TI. Okay. Okay. No, I think we'll move on. Okay. I mean, if you keep looking at everyone's code, you guys have to learn from the mistakes of the others also. Okay. So here is a good question. Listen to it carefully. Okay. Listen very carefully.
I'll move this.
you have to read two strings. That means you have to declare two arrays. So str1 is one array, str2 is another array. Okay. You have to create two arrays, str1, str2, two string arrays. Read two strings. Okay. One in str1, one in str2. Now you have two strings. Let's say the two strings are KMIT and NGIT. So let's say these two strings have been read. Now you have to create str3. Anyway, you have big size. You have to create str3. Okay. Now you have to put the backslash 0 in this on your own. So you'll have to be careful. So in this case, str1 will look like this. K M I T and then 0 or backslash 0. Okay. Then in str, this is how str1 will look. This is how str2 will look. N G I T backslash 0. Now I am going to assume that both the strings are of the same length. You can assume that both the strings are of the same length. Okay. I mean, you can, that is the definition of the question. Both are of the same length. Now you have to create an str3. Okay. You have created an str3 which you have created already, but str3 should look like this. The first character should come from here. Okay. The second character should come from here. N. Next character should come from here. M. So you have to use two separate indexes, I and J. Okay. And you have to use another index for this, K. Okay. I'm just giving you tips. So the first character, and better write it using while loop. Okay. So K, then N, then M, then G. So one from here, one from here. Then I, T, T. And when they end, you just put one backslash 0. You don't need two backslash zeros. Just put one backslash 0. Okay. So this is K, K, N. So this comes from here, this comes from here. This comes from here, this comes from here. Then I comes from here, and then I comes from here also. T comes from here, T comes from here also. Then one backslash 0. And then you have to print str3. You have to remember to put this backslash 0 because you're going to stop when this enters. So you need, hopefully, or maybe, or to make your life easy, 3 indexes. K and which will keep incrementing when I gets incremented or J gets incremented. So you can write this ideally using a while loop, a big while loop, big in the sense a while loop, and you can use I for indexing this, J for indexing this, and you'll have to be a little clever, I guess, to write this, because this loop will continue till this has not reached 0 and or this has not reached 0. Till then we'll have to continue. Okay. Or you can do it alternately. You can do this. You can fill up this array like this. K. M goes into not the next position but one position after that. It starts for str1 at 0 and then it goes like this. K. Then after 2 make it M, then after 2 make it I, so that is this K goes here, this M goes here, this I goes here, this T goes here, and then you put the other ones in between, and at the end put backslash 0. If you want, you can do it this way in str3. Okay. So you have to assign values in str3. So it's like one character from here, one character from here. Now this is slightly tough to do, but I want you to do str1, str2, and the output should be str3, or will, for the sake of, okay, let's say str3. So It should, I should see this in your code, and one at a time. Okay, one character from each. So let's see whether you are able to do it or not. Can we also add enter?
Enter this.
Both the strings are of the same length. I'm telling you. You don't need to take the length. Okay, both the strings are of the same length. Okay, yeah, we'll open Munda Practice Lab.
This.
Okay, just a minute. We'll tell you which practice lab to open.
Practice.
Okay, practice lab 5 of January
20.
20th. Once again, practice lab 5, Jan 20th. You don't have to append elements. Array is already there, so you just have to put it in the right place. Anyway, I'll give you time till 11:15, and then we will see if anyone has done. If not, we will do it.
Do we need to print the string or create an array? str3?
Do we need to print? We have to create a array str3. Girish, you have to create an array. No, voice breaking is your end. We have green arrows here. Okay, 11:15 I'll start solving. Oh, somebody finished. Very good. Oh, someone else has also finished. Good.
Shanmukha.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So we will start solving on our own. Now I'm not going to look at other solutions. We will do it so that it's an important question. So you hopefully will be people who have not done it yet. Please watch our code. We are logging in as a student and doing it. Okay, practice lab 5. Okay, we will write the code here. Yeah. So as usual, hash include stdio.h, then main. Okay, now we'll create the 3 arrays in char str1 100. We're just creating them arbitrarily 100, str2 100, and str3 100, assuming that the total size is less than 100. Done. So we have the arrays. Then we'll create 3 variables also, I, j, k, one for each. Then we'll read the first 2 arrays, scanf, enter first string, printf, printf, enter first string, enter string 1, okay, and \n, and we will read the first string in. So we will say scanf %s and since it's the name of the array, str1, no ampersand. Right? Okay, we'll repeat that for string 2 also. Okay, string 2, str2, and enter string 2. Okay, so we now have with us str1, str2, and we also have an empty array str3. Okay, empty or garbage array str3. And we have now, we have to now start a loop. Look at the way we'll write the loop. While let's initialize str I equal to 0 and j equal to 0. I equal to 0 and j equal to 0. Both we are starting at 0. Okay. While str of I not equal to 0, \0, yeah, and you can also write an and str, should we say and or? I think, because one of them will become 0, the other one will still be going, so we should go in. Let's try or. Str of no, this would be, I won't know whether I should pick up from, I think it's easier. No, let's not do it this way. I will complicate the code. So we will just put them while str of I not equal to 0. Yes, we will put the value in k, str3 of k. We will make k equal to 0 also. K equal to 0. We will put the value str3 of k equal to str1 of I. Oh, str1 hai line 12. Line 12, right? str1.
Yes.
Okay, by that Then we'll say k equal to k plus 2, because we want to fill it alternately. K equal to k plus 2. So let's just understand what happens here.
I also increment.
I has to be incremented. I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, just so that you understand what's going on, I'll write what is happening. So if it is KMIT, I have this in str1 and str2. Let's see how str2 works. Sorry, not str2, str3 works. So str3 has 0 and then 1, then 2. Okay, so let's just look at how does it work here. And then 3, and this is 4. Okay, so now what happens? So while stri not equal to 0, I is obviously there, so this is at k. I is 0, so this is not equal to backslash 0. Backslash 0 is here. Okay, so I will put k in this location. So k is 0. Okay, so k will go here. Then k, this k, not this k. The next character, k will now come here and I will be here. So now I will be here. Str of I is not again, so it will go into, so k, it will go into m, and then I will be here, then it will go into I, so k m I, then this will be empty, then t. Okay, and if it is not, if it is equal to backslash 0, it won't enter, so k won't be set. So which is fine. Okay, so now we will reset k equal to 1, because now we have done with the first string. K equal to 1, because now we have to start from this position onwards. While str2 not equal to 0, backslash 0, we are using j there. Again we will do the same thing. str3 of k is equal to str1 or 2 of j, str2 of j, and then we will do k equal to k plus 2 every time,
And j equal to
Now what has happened is, with this first time k, so the second string, let's imagine, is ngit, so n will come here, then k plus 2 means 3, so it will start at 1, this will be g, I again, t again, so at that point this will become 0 and k will be here, k will be here, because 1, k will be here at the last. Then after that I have to put a backslash 0, because otherwise I can't print it as a string. So that is after the while loop. I have to say str of k plus 1, str3 of k plus 1 is equal to backslash 0. I have to do it myself. Okay. So this is what would perhaps do, and then we'll say printf %s str3 not k, str3
directly. Yes,
We'll just print str3 because it's properly terminated.
sir.
Okay, let's check it out whether this goes through, and then we will see what's happening. Okay, enter string 1, let's say KMIT. KMIT. then enter string 2, which is ngit, and then let's see what comes. Now nothing is coming. Okay. That means we did not terminate it properly.
Going.
Now, what did we do wrong? A equal to 0, str I not equal to that. Yeah, let's see. I equal to I plus 1, j equal to j plus 1. Then k becomes 1 again. So k str2 of j not equal to backslash 0. Str3 of k, j is j plus 1, looks okay to me. Then str3 of k plus 1. Okay, now spot the error.
K plus 1 is a mistake.
Is a mistake?
Why?
Okay, let's see. Well, we can. Can we use k? No. I have given you a question. So tell me what is wrong. Now let's go back to the code. Now you have to spot the mistake here.
This K 5.
So it's printing k. K should be 7. Let's see what we get and why are we not getting it. 9? No, it's coming. Huh?
Yes, sir, it's coming.
No, 9.
But it's moving.
The length is not correct. K equal to k plus 2. K
Plus 2, it's adding again.
the last plus 2 has been added. Oh, k has already become k plus 2. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, what has happened is, in the previous case itself, k has become further.
Yes, sir.
We have added it. So we should say, instead of k plus 1, actually k has gone ahead, because by the time we reach here, k has increased. And that is the mistake. Okay. So by the time we come here, j and k both are ahead, which is not, j is fine, but k has also increased because k has gone to k plus 2. In the previous case, where it would be the new location if it was there, but it is not. So the new location is not correct. So we have to step back. This we have to cancel it and then add 1 to it. So instead what we can do is we can just say, instead of this, we can say k minus 1, because k has gone ahead by 2 steps and we have to pull it back 1 step and put a backslash 0. Okay. Okay. So now let's see whether we get the error. Okay, now it comes correctly. So by mistake our k had moved ahead and that was the error. So you have to be careful about this, and Yeah, we have kind of run short of time, so we will stop here. Okay. So try this out. Yeah. Yeah, we could have used J. Okay. Now try this out. Now we don't have time. Yeah. What we'll do is we'll put this question for you, this solution for you in practice lab 5 or practice lab 6. Okay, we'll create practice lab 6 for you and put the solution that we have had inside that. Okay, did you understand? No, we'll give you the code. We'll give you the code which we have written under practice lab 6. You can open practice lab 6 and see the code. Okay. So we'll save it right after this class. Today we didn't record the lecture. Forgot. You shouldn't forget.
No.
We recorded, huh?
No.
Okay. Huh?
Recorded, sir.
We recorded. Yeah, it's recorded.
It's recorded.
Okay.